Hey everyone, thanks for joining us on the Knights of the Round Table podcast. Crazy that we're in the second week of December already. A lot of really exciting stuff in sports going on right now. At Bellarmine, it's winter sports season, and fortunately there hasn't been any winter weather yet, knock on wood so far. That's usually reserved for February. Might be the worst month of the year in my opinion. We'll see. I digress. Every episode of KRT is on the Bellarmine Athletics YouTube page. You can find the links and clips across our social media platforms at BU Knights. We've had hoops players on the last couple of weeks. Justin Betts from the men's team was awesome last week. Make sure to listen to that conversation if you haven't yet. Today, we talk about the pool. Not the type in your backyard, although that sounds nice. We've got senior swimmer, Matthew Sims, joining us on KRT. Matthew, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Just finished finals, done for the semester, so it's going good right now.
Celebratory feeling, and you decided to join us right after you're done with finals. We're honored. Yeah, that's got to be a great feeling, man. I know there's a lot that goes into finals and the entire semester for you academically, so I'm sure there's a weight that's been taken off of you today.
Yeah, it's a stressful week, so it's nice to be done and only have a semester left.
So something I noticed as I was walking towards UDH the other day was the university dining hall. In case anybody doesn't know, there's a section with like massage chairs and therapy dogs. Have you ever utilized that?
Well, not this year because I live off campus, so I really only come here when I have to.
Yeah.
But my freshman and sophomore year, those were the best things ever. I mean, you get to go and pet dogs to de-stress. It's so nice.
Yeah, dogs are the best, period. But the massage chairs, I looked over there. I was like, I think that's for students, but I might try to slip in because that looks amazing.
They are, and I did it once, and it's kind of just like a little massage, so it's not like major or anything, but it does help.
Yeah, no, anything to help with finals for sure. So I met you and your twin brother Daniel at Picture Day for the first time, and I heard how hard it is to tell you guys apart. I kind of got that experience for myself for the very first time. Right now you have a little bit longer hair, I think, which helps with the differentiation. But have you ever done anything on purpose to help set you apart, like just physically from your brother?
Not like physically. I mean, when we were kids, we used to wear blue and red so everyone could tell us apart.
Okay.
But I mean, sometimes we'll dress exactly the same on purpose. Like for our birthday, exact same outfit, exact same shoes, everything.
That's hilarious. Yeah, you've done things to look even more similar. And you have the same tattoo as well. Yep. Explain that.
So when our dad died when we were 10, we decided at 5 years when we turned almost 16 that we were going to get a tattoo at the day he died as kind of like a 5-year celebration. And so I had to convince our sister to get it first so our mom would let us.
Yeah.
But so we got that, and then I kind of got twins and Japanese tattooed on me for my 18th birthday. And so he went and got that.
Wow.
And it's just kind of like every time one of us gets one, the other one's got to get it because it's just a twin thing, I guess. You want to look the same.
It seems like you guys are really close.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay.
Yeah, you fight a lot as brothers. You kind of get over it in 10 minutes. It's a twin thing, I guess, too.
Yeah, but fighting's part of being close, I think.
Yeah. I mean, we fight over some dumb stuff that you wouldn't expect, and chairs have been thrown. I mean, physical fights, but nothing really lasts.
I think that's also part of being a male, so you've got both going for you there.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't mind sharing, you mentioned your dad passed away when you guys were 10. I assume that just having a twin brother and other siblings as well to lean on helped get you through that.
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot harder for our sister at the time, I would say, because me and Daniel, we were just 10, so it wasn't like we fully understood everything that was going on then. But she had just turned 12, like 6 months beforehand, so she kind of had a better understanding of what was going on. It was a lot harder on her. So it was always nice to like always be there for each other if someone needed something.
Right. Well, you and Daniel have been with each other every single step of the way, and you just described your guys' relationship. I'm guessing you're pretty competitive with each other too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if you win, like this last week, he just won Swimmer of the Week in the CCSA. So does he have a little bit of bragging rights? Does he let you hear it?
He told me this morning, actually. I didn't know that he won because I don't really check on that stuff anymore. But He doesn't really get bragging rights. I got it before in the season already, and then I've had a few more in my career so far. So
Right, you have. You hold quite a few records around here, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. But you mentioned nursing right off the top. He's a criminology or criminal justice sociology major. You're a nursing student. What's just your entire academic experience as a swimmer and a nursing student right now?
oh man, it is rough. I mean, at least for swimming, and I know a couple of other sports for the people in my classes, it's just like you have to find so much time where you just study, go to practice, go to your competitions, come back and study more. And I mean, it's just sleepless nights. You sleep very little. You get up really early in the morning. And I mean, you just find a way to do it, but it's not easy.
Yeah, you mentioned before we came on that, I mean, you're going to bed at 2 a.m. studying. You wake up at 4 to get to practice at 4:50, which is mind-boggling to me. Why is nursing such a rigorous major?
I think it's more the career itself. I mean, you basically have people's lives in your hands, and you have to make sure that you're doing everything you can to help them and keep them alive. So you have to understand everything that could potentially be going wrong with them. So it's just meant to challenge you and to weed out the people who can't do that. And I'll say it's challenging.
Why'd you want to get into nursing?
So for that, I actually came in as a criminal justice major, just like Daniel, except my freshman year in the first week of school, I switched my major 6 times. And it was basically just in the week of welcome, they challenged us to really like dive into ourselves and think about like who we were and what we wanted to do with our lives. And I just kind of realized that like criminal justice wasn't really what I wanted to do. So I started bouncing around majors. I ended on nursing on the last day of the week freshman year. And I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. Out of time to change it again. So kind of stuck with it. End of freshman year, I was like, yeah, this is really what I want to do, because I've always wanted to help people in the way that I was kind of helped when I was a kid when my dad died. And it just stuck out to me, the impact the nurses made on me instead of anyone else.
Yeah, that's great. So you were averaging a major a day during that first week.
Yep.
What other majors did you contemplate?
I had sociology, psychology, I did biology, and then at the end of the first semester, I did contemplate switching to biochem.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you found the right one. So
Yeah.
I'm happy you landed there at the end of the week. I heard that Daniel is applying to be a police officer right now. Is that correct?
Yes, he's actually just got the interview with the department that our dad worked at for 22 years.
Wow.
So he's done his polygraph. He's done all the physical requirements. They just want him to do the interview now.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we wish the best to him as well. Your brother going to make a good police officer?
Oh, he better. I'll kick his ass.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Sounds like you guys have been in your fair share of tussles. So
Oh, yeah. He knows I'd come up there and I'd rough him up a bit. I mean, he knows what he's supposed to do. He knows he's got to make an impact.
yeah, well, it sounds like you guys are going to make a really positive impact in different ways. So when you have a sliver of free time, maybe outside of joining us here, what do you like to do?
I watch a lot of Netflix, and currently I was playing some video games today because I really haven't got a chance, and the new Call of Duty came out last month, and so I bought it when it came out, and I've played it very little because of how much I've been studying for all my exams at the end of the semester, finals. So I finally just like relaxed, and I played a little bit today.
So when you're playing Call of Duty, if you've got like all the free time you want in a day, how long will you play it for?
Honestly, not that long because I get bored of it after a little bit. Just like feel like it's doing the same thing too much, and I don't like doing that. So
Yeah.
maybe like 3-4 hours, take a couple hours of break, maybe go on a drive, come back, play another hour or two, watch some Netflix.
Yeah, so you're not like a total hardcore binger on Call of Duty.
No.
Okay. So what are you binging on Netflix then?
Right now I'm watching Money Heist.
Okay. You like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm on like episode 5, and it's just like it started out slow, and it's kind of like a slower moving show, but it's good.
What's the plot? Give us a little preview here.
Well, I'm still on the first season, so there is this girl who was going to be arrested for murdering her boyfriend in a bank robbery, and so she was on the run, and there's this guy who found her and a bunch of other thieves, and he put them together as a crew to rob the Royal Mint of Spain.
Mm.
And so instead of robbing it, they're actually just in there printing off their own money.
Okay.
So they're coming out with a lot more. But basically, they just have it under siege so no one can come in while they do it. That's about as far as I am.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Might have to get into that one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay. So back to swimming. Did you always know you were going to be a swimmer?
No, actually, our dad forced us to do it when we were about 6. We started club swimming, but we swam summer league before that. And I always found summer league to be the most fun ever because you could just relax and have fun. There were no expectations, especially for club swimmers. You knew you were going to beat everyone, so it was just nice to relax and just have a little fun with it. But I actually quit swimming when I was going into my junior year of high school over the summer because I did not like my coach. I was not having fun with it. And one of my really lifelong friends convinced me to try it again, go to his club team, fell in love with it again, and then here I am still.
So yeah, you quit as a junior, you end up racing club. What was the recruiting process through all of that like coming here?
So John actually used to coach my club team that I swam for. He was the head coach back in like the 80s or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he just kind of knew about our club team, and he coached one of our coaches that we currently have there. And so he was like talking to her, like, got anyone that might like be interested in whatever? And so she came up to me and she was like, here's his number, here's his email. Just shoot him an email, see what he says, see all that. So shot him an email. We talked on the phone. He's a talker, so I think the first time we talked on the phone, we were probably on the phone for like hour and a half, 2 hours. And that was a new one for me because every other coach I'd been on a call with, I mean, it was usually like 20, 30 minutes maybe. It was just kind of like updates, see how it's going, like this is what's happening, all this. And then it was just like, have a good day. Like a lot of coaches just like to stick to the basics, just keep it simple, tell you what you need to know. And John like really made an impact on like trying to personally get to know me instead.
Yeah, that's great. And now you've gone from quitting your high school team to being one of the best swimmers in Bellarmine history. Have you had a chance to reflect on that?
Not yet. I mean, I'm still grinding, I'm still going, so maybe after it's all over I will, and I'll look back and be like, wow.
Right.
But right now it's just living in the present.
Yeah, you guys have some time off now, like 3-4 weeks until you compete next on January 15th. What are you going to do now that you're done with finals too?
Well, we leave for Florida on Sunday for training trips, so we'll be there for about a week at the National Training Center in Claremont. We get one beach day. But so
Which beach?
We'll probably go to Cocoa Beach. I think it's about an hour away, and it's just kind of like a vacation spot, I guess. I don't know.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, so we'll do that, but it's like, I don't know. I thought I was done with long course swimming after Olympic trials, but I guess we're going back and we're going to swim a little long course.
Okay. So is that something you really look forward to every year, going down to Florida?
So we actually went my freshman year, and it was super fun. We all loved it. And then our sophomore year, we didn't go. And then last year, we weren't approved for it because of COVID.
Right.
So this year, we jumped on the opportunity to get to go. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet. Just swimming in general, it seems like you guys practice more than any other sport. You're always in the pool, day, night, whenever it is.
Yep.
Why?
So for swimming, it's really easy to get out of shape. You take 2-3 days out of the pool, and it feels like it takes 2 weeks to get back into the feeling of being good in the pool. It's rough to stay in a shape where you feel like you're good in the pool. And if you don't feel like you're good in the pool, you're not competing well, you're not doing well at anything.
So outside of, keeping that endurance up, like what else are you working on at practice?
It's a lot of technique. It's a lot of just aerobic work. I do a lot of butterfly, maintaining like my back end of my 2 fly so that I can come back faster. Because, I mean, that's something I always like to do, is not go out fast and just kind of turn on the heat when everyone's coming and dying. I just go. And you just got to keep on working for it, and you got to figure out what the little things you can change are to make yourself go faster.
Okay, so what little things have you been working on recently?
So I like to pick my head up when I come off the wall and take a breath instead of keeping my head down for my first stroke. And that's something I've been trying to fix, but it's about halfway there. If I feel like I'm hurting a little bit and I need oxygen, I'll just start picking my head up. It's just muscle instinct.
Okay. So you come up, but you don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
And it's just your body's telling you get some air, so I pick my head up and I get some air.
Okay. So it's those little adjustments combined with the fact that, I mean, you're just going to keep the endurance up. That's what practice time is for.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. What temperature do they keep the pool?
I have no clue. Usually it's like feels a little colder than lukewarm at Mary T at least, but I mean you can jump into pools that feel like you're jumping in an ice bath that's 42 degrees.
So, but Mary T's a little bit warmer than other places?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So it's not painful to jump in at 6:30 in the morning when you have to, or 5 o'clock for me.
Right. Do you ever wish that at Mary T or other places it was warmer?
No.
Why?
Because when you dive into a cold pool, for swimming at least, it's something about like the science behind it. Colder makes you go faster. So if you jump into a warm pool, you're just going to get dehydrated faster. Your muscles are going to start burning out faster. It's the heat loses energy, so you never want it to be warm.
Okay. So yeah, leave the warm pool for relaxing, cold pool for competing.
Yeah, there's places like I've been to meets at Ohio State. Their diving well is like heated. So it's so nice to warm down in, even though I don't have a clue if it's good for you or not.
Yeah.
But like you dive in and you swim a race in the cold pool, you just jump in the warm one. It's so nice.
Yeah, I bet. It's like getting in a hot tub.
Oh, yeah.
What's your mental state like before competing?
I know a lot of people get like anxious and stressed and they like kind of worry about everything that could go wrong. But I just tell myself I've been training for what I need to do and I know what I got to do. I mean, I've never really got like anxious or anything before a race. I get excited, but nothing really like gets me out of my head and gets me out of my zone.
So you don't get too nervous?
No, I kind of like, I enjoy watching other people get nervous.
Really?
It's fun because then you can trash talk them and you get in their head. And I mean, you could probably ask anyone that's been in a ready room with me. I'm probably the most notorious trash talker there is.
Really? So other schools, other opponents, you're trash talking them?
Of course. Got to get in their head. I mean, I know I can beat them. I just got to let them know that they can't beat me.
PG version, what do you say?
Well, so conference this year, I went in on 2 days of practice. And so I get in the ready room for 2 fly and I'm sitting in there and everyone's talking about the times they want to go. And they're like, what about you? I'm like, well, I don't really care what my time is. And they're like, well, why not? And I'm like, well, I'm here on 2 days of practice. I don't care. And they're like, okay, so like, what do you think you're going to go? I said, faster than you.
How do they react?
They just like, some people laugh at it. Other people like jaw drop. Like, did you really just say that? Like, yeah, I'm that confident.
I love that. I mean, most people say, yeah, I might trash talk a little bit, but it, really comes down to a fun experience. And you're just like, no, I mean, I'm just confident. I'm going to say what I want to say and go do it.
Yeah. I mean, confidence in my mind is the key to being able to succeed at the level you want to. And it might come off as a little cocky to some people, but I mean, it's just a level of confidence I have.
Yeah. Well, when they're coming down that final stretch and they think, oh, he's right there. What did he say to me earlier? Boom, you're already by him.
Yeah.
Well, you've blown by a lot of people in your career. You're the record holder in the 200 butterfly. You were the conference champion last year. Your first season is Division I. Why has that event been so good for you?
I'm not really sure because when I quit swimming in high school, I never swam the 2 fly. I was always a sprinter. I loved the 100 fly. And I joined my club team, and my coach then said, you're not doing the 100 fly. We don't train for sprint events. And so we started doing distance. He was like, you are built to do endurance. So I train a lot of distance practices, but I don't swim distance. I hate it. It's just, it keeps the aerobic up for a 2 fly because 2 fly is the event where you need to have the most aerobic capacity to come back because it hurts in every aspect. But I don't really know why it's been good to me. I just put everything I have into it. It's my best event. I love it.
Why does it hurt so much?
Well, so butterfly in particular, you cannot really swim easy in. I mean, you can have it to be like you swim easy, but it's always going to be like a faster paced event. So it's just, you got to work on keeping your tempo down and stuff. And it's so hard. It just takes its toll on your body over 200 yards.
So you said you train for longer, but then that helps going a little bit shorter with 200.
Yeah, because you really got to focus on what your back half's going to be and how you're going to hold up in it. So if you train longer and you know that you could do it in a longer race, mentally for me, I know I can do it in a 200 then.
Right. No, that makes total sense. 3.5 years now. What's your favorite moment from that time span at Bellarmine?
Oh, man.
Let's go with just competition.
Competition, I loved my 2-fly at conference my sophomore year when I broke the conference record, and I turned around, I saw the scoreboard. I mean, I probably beat the crap out of the water for 4 or 5 minutes straight. I was so excited, and it wasn't something I expected that season, being out at the beginning for so long because of my back, and it was just exhilarating to see.
How's your back feeling now?
It's got its ups and downs, but it depends on the day.
At this point in your career, you got a half a season left, whatever it is. You're just trying to kind of grind through that.
Yeah, I mean, I was out for a couple of weeks at the beginning of the season because it was hurting, so we had to see what was wrong, get some diagnostic testing, got a X-ray, MRI, all that. Nothing was broke, so I said, all right, we'll deal with it later.
Yeah.
Got back into training.
You guys are tough, man. Just the way that you prepare your bodies and grind through that, it's nuts. So if you were recruiting someone to come here, what would you tell them?
Oh, man, I had so many recruits freshman year. It was just basically like I probably chose my college more on the academic side. I've had so many people in my life tell me that I could go to a bigger school, go to bigger named places, and I'm like, yeah, but I am getting a phenomenal education at Bellarmine instead, and I'm swimming on the side for fun. I enjoy it, and it helps pay for it at the same time. But really, I chose my education first because that was the biggest priority to me. So I would always tell people, like, think about your education first because you're not going to be swimming forever. But when you graduate, that's what you're going to be doing forever. So you want to be as prepared as you can to go into the field that you do.
Right. And I mean, that's like the definition of student athlete right there. So yeah. All the professors and administrators who listen to this are going to love hearing you say that. So what's next for you after this year?
So I'll graduate, and I currently work at Norton Audubon, so I'll probably be a nurse there in their ICU since I already work there. It's an easy transition. My mom and grandma really want me to go home, but I don't know that's going to happen. So,
are you excited to kind of wrap things up? Or, I mean, you, like we talked about, you haven't really reflected on it yet, but are you looking forward to that next stage of your life?
I am. I've been swimming for 16, 17 years. It's like I've been doing it long enough. I'm ready to be done, but at the same time, it'll be bittersweet because it's such a part of my identity.
Right. 16 to 17 years, it really does become a part of you.
Yeah.
So we've seen a lot of great moments from you here at Bellarmine, man, and really appreciate you hopping on today to share some of those.
Of course.
Matthew Sims. He's going to enjoy some time off here. Men's swimming back against Evansville on January 15th. That does it for KRT Episode 7. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Follow us on social media @BUnites. Make sure to join us again next week. I'm Jack Kaiser, and Swords Up.